Hello guys, welcome to the part 4 of ECN 228 from the University of Boya. In today's video, we are going to differentiate between data and information, sample and population, sample and sampling, and what have you. So stay tuned as I'm going to walk you out through this video series. If you have not seen the part 1, 2 and 3 of this video series, don't forget to check on my channel. It's Maths Time Questions and Answers, a channel that gives you insights about the problems giving you headache at school. In the next subsequent videos, we are going to be handling paper 2 of ECN 228, where we are going to show you detailed solutions of the past GCE or past questions in this ECN 228. Without much ado, let's dive into the questions proper. Question number 1 is saying that we should differentiate between the following: data and information. So we know that data is different from information in the following ways. We are going to do this differentiation in a tabular manner. In this case, we will have a table and we'll call the first entry there the data and the second information. How does data differ from information? One, data is unprocessed, meaning that it's raw material. It's not processed. When you process data or analyze data to give you meaningful what we can use in making decision, we call this new form of data information. So data is unprocessed while information is processed. The next difference is that it is always very large while information is relatively small in size. So what do we mean? So data is always a combination of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured, which is then analyzed to give you detailed information that we can use to make decision. So data is always large and information is a small portion of data that has meaning. So we have the next difference is that it makes little or no sense. I've made mention of that. So it's a combination of junks, things you get from interview, things you get from questionnaires, and so on. But when you analyze them, we now have what? Meaningful information. So data makes little or no sense while information makes a lot of sense. Because information makes a lot of sense, we use it in what? Decision making. So data cannot be used in decision making because it makes no sense. We can't even understand it. But when analyzed, it becomes information which can be used in decision making. So those are the differences between data and information. Let's move to the part B, which says that we should differentiate between a sample and a population. So we already know that what? We will also use tabular form here, where we will call the first entry the population and the second entry a sample. So population simply means the total number we are talking about. So if we are talking about the University of Boya, then the population will be all the students in the University of Boya, and the sample will be a particular portion of the students, like students offering ECN 228. So population is the entire group, the whole group, while sample will be a part of a population, like we have said in case of the University of Boya. The next example is that the measurable quantity. The next example is that the measurable quality is called parameter. So what we actually measure in a population, we call it the parameters of that population. And when we are talking about a sample, the measurable quality are what we call statistics. So those are the differences between population and sample. Let's go to the next part. C, primary and secondary data. So again, we have our table there. We'll call the first entry the primary and the second the secondary data. Under primary data, we know that is data that is gotten directly from the field or source. What we mean is what we always say is gotten from the horse's mouth. So the researcher go down into the field where the event occurred and gets the information directly from the people concerned, while secondary data is gotten from other source of information that includes maybe books, questionnaires, archives, and so on. So this data is what is gotten from other second-handed sources. Primary data is more accurate and reliable. So because we get it from the horse's mouth, from the field, from the source, the data is more accurate. But secondary data, you know that what, as the data moves from one person to another, it becomes what is changing, so it's less accurate or it's not reliable. The next part is that what, it's not easily accessible. Primary data is not easily accessible. So because we need to go down to the field, the real horse's mouth, is not easily accessible. You need to spend a lot of money and a lot of resources. But what, secondary data can be gotten from books and internet, so it becomes available through books and the internet and other sources like archives. You just read them there. So the next part, which is the differences between discrete and continuous data. So we have our table again. We have discrete and we have continuous data. The first very important difference is that what, discrete can be counted. We know that what, it has what, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 whole numbers, while continuous can be measured. Because discrete can be counted, we say that what, they are what, digital data. They can have what, be converted into ones and zero. Because continuous can be measured, it goes on and on to infinite, we call them analog data. Because digital discrete data has what, the number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we say that what, there is no number, there is no value between successive numbers. And for continuous, there is always a number between them. What I mean here is that if we have a number from 1 to 2, there is no other number between 1 and 2 for discrete numbers. But for continuous data, between 1 and 2, we can have 1.5, 1.25, 1.75, and so on. So the numbers keep going on. So guys, this is the difference between the set of data that we have seen. See you in my next video, and as I've said, the next video is going to be made up of paper 2 past questions, where we are going to show you how to calculate mean, mode, median, standard deviation, and so on, using the methods you know. So guys, don't forget to check on the next video and stay with me. Bye bye.